Well, hi again, folks. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the City of Pearl, and welcome in to This Week in Pearl. On this week's episode, we will talk to Mayor Jake Windham, who has an update about what's going on here in the city and an update on some projects. Then we're going to talk to you about some city accolades for one of our first responders and one of our city staffers as they were named the Chamber of Commerce Employees of the Month. We've got playoff baseball to talk about as your Mississippi Braves are going to be bringing championship games here to Trustmark Park this week. And we've got some very cool events coming up in the city that you need to know about, and we'll tell you how you can get involved. All that and more coming up on This Week in Pearl.
Hello, I'm Mayor Windham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the city, and we are now joined by our Mayor, Jake Windham, who is fresh off a Board of Aldermen meeting this week. And how was it?
It was good. It was good. We were able to accomplish several things, and some things were approved. So it's progress. It's progress. We had a number of items that we're going to discuss today that I think is a big win for the city. It's a big win for certainly some folks on the south part of town that have been waiting for a bridge to be built there for forever. So we were able to award a contractor last night.
And this is for the Pearl-Richland intermodal. Again, this is going to be that bridge, the flyover, a big bridge that's going to go over the train tracks there at South Pearson Road, kind of going that back way into Richland.
Yeah, it is. And anyway, last year we took bids on that, and it came in above the amount of allocated dollars that we have. That's that 80-20 project, so 80% of that project's federally paid for. We had to pay 20% share. So we went to the legislature, Dean Kirby and Gene Newman, and our Rankin County delegation, Josh Harkins. They were able to help us get some additional funds in order to advertise the project again and then award. So last night we were able to award to T.L. Wallace. It's a $14 million contract. There's also a CE&I, so it's more around $15 million. Like I said, we'll be on the hook for 20% in order for that project to go through. But it's something that's really needed. It's a safety project, and it's also one of those things that for a traffic situation as well. We've had several years before my time in office, we had a house burn, fire truck couldn't get there. There is a caveat to it. Once the bridge is under construction, which will be next spring, we awarded last night, but MDOT will not allow the construction to go on during the winter months. You can't really do anything. So you'll see progress out there in the spring. South Pearson will be shut down. St. Augustine will be open, but for the people that travel through that area, we're thinking that it's just better to find you an alternative route instead of thinking that you can come through there. And the reason that we closed South Pearson, it was real simple. Number one, safety for workers, construction workers that would be on site. Getting the things done, and you just don't want a lot of vehicles coming in when you have a lot of men working. Secondly, if we were to do that, we were going to have to put a red light up, which was going to increase the project $1 million. So it was a
red light costs $1 million. That's insane. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're saving the money. I mean, as a taxpayer, I'm glad you're saving the money.
MDOT, we all agree with that. We all agreed to that, thought it was best. it really came down more to safety than it was the money. And it's going to be an inconvenience, but you know what? After it's done, progress always hurts. I mean, it always does in any shape, form, or fashion, whether it's infrastructure, community development, or some of those things. It just takes time, and for me, it's trying to learn how to be patient, right?
Patience is the virtue, but we'll have much more on that, as we get closer to the project actually starting there in the spring when T.L. Wallace really gets working in earnest on that area. One of the other things you were real excited about is, again, it's the patience thing. Lots of paving. Paving is coming to the city.
Yeah, we were expecting our paving contractor to already be here, but again, COVID has hurt the labor force greatly. Has dismantled some crews, so we won't get as much done as we would like, but we're hoping that once the contractor gets here at the beginning of October, they'll be here through the duration until winter months sets in. You can pave at 45 degrees and rising, so as long as that is the temperature and rising, you'll see asphalt being laid down. But there becomes a point where when it's raining, you can't do that.
Right.
However, I'm excited about it. I'm tired of telling people about it and then waiting on contractors, which they're doing their best they can. Also, if you remember, June and July was very wet. Very wet months. That also pushed the schedule out. COVID with labor. So, I mean, everybody's just trying to have to, we're sitting here trying to hit this moving target. And you're trying to, I mean, I've talked about it on this show before, you're trying to set expectations for people, and you don't want to lie to folks. But at times there's variables out there that are beyond your control. So you just have to go with it in God's providence. If things don't happen now, they'll happen then. And so we'll just keep moving.
We shall. As people start moving, though, towards their mailbox in the next couple of weeks, we again want to remind you, hold your breath. Don't get excited. When you take your next water bill out of your mailbox, it is going to be higher. And I know that's something that you want folks to, remember.
Yeah, it was not a very popular topic when we posted on the city Facebook page, and I wouldn't think that it would be, but the understanding to save $100 million is real easy, and then for Rankin County to have expansion for further development. It was a no-brainer, even though it cost us more money. It's just one of those things that has had to happen due to the Savannah Street treatment plant in Jackson. And I think, for us gaining sovereignty, not having to depend on another city for a sewer treatment plant, and we'll have Rankin County cities looking out for one another, it's going to be a really good deal. And again, it provides growth for many, many years for Rankin County and for our citizens or additional businesses here. So, yeah, and we try to put the information out in an effort to be transparent. So many times if there's government fees that are put forth by a municipality or a county or even a state, you want to have some understanding behind it. This is what the old rate was. This is what the new rate's going to. And I mean, it's bold to do that sometimes, but I think our citizens need to know. And I think they're the ones that pay the bills. They're the ones that run this city because of the fact that they pay ad valorem tax. And I've said it before and I've said it again, they're the chief stockholder. So we want to make sure that they know what they're paying for and what we're doing with their money.
Well, and you did not want them to all be shocked when they went to the mailbox and all of a sudden saw their bill, 20, maybe 30% higher, and say, oh, well, did I have a leak? Why is this all, we're just trying to.
Well, if I would have went to the mailbox and saw that, I would have felt sucker punched in the Soloplex, right? You're like, what?
As a resident, we would have.
Yeah, it would have been a sucker punch. And I don't think that's not how you govern. You govern with transparency, and you govern in such a way that you let your people know what's going on. That's why we have this show. Yeah. I mean, that's why we do this show, just for us to talk about things and make sure that we're educated. We had somebody at the board meeting last night wonder why we actually do the board meetings live, and I said it's an effort to be transparent. It's to make sure that our folks know what's going on in their city.
Yeah, if you can't make it out to the board meeting, because sometimes, work, family doesn't allow you to actually come physically to sit in our board meetings, you can watch it live, and it's just a great tool. Just to clear something up that you mentioned, that when we did put it out on Facebook, one of the big questions that I noticed that people were asking is, well, we're supposed to be saving money, why is our bill going up? Well, either way, we were going to have to pay, the Rankin County members, we're going to have to pay $100 million minimum. You know, it was going to be $200 million, but $100 million was going to have to go to the city of Jackson for those repairs and the upgrades. It was actually
$200 million.
Well, $200 million, but what I'm saying is, so we were at least on the hook. You were going to go up regardless. Now, instead of going up 40% on our water bills to help cover that $200 million, we're having to pay $100 million to cover the new water plant, which is keeping the rates at about 20, 25, 30% may increase. So they were going up regardless.
Yeah, the urban legend where I've heard people out there saying that they were going to go down. No, you have a new sewer treatment plant that cost $100 million. You have an old sewer treatment plant, but it's based on our flow. So our flow was 30% of Jackson, and we would have had to pay based on our flow $200 million. 200 million, 100 million, and then we control it, and we know it, and it has expansion. It's not something that you want to pay more things, and I think that probably some of the frustration out there right now during COVID is it seems like everything is going up. You know, every time you turn around, something's going up, groceries going up, and it's just it's additional funds. So, you know, my family feels that I understand it as well, and it's a sacrifice for progress too. You know.
It is, and you know, it's going to sting for a little bit, but again, you know, you hate to say when the government says trust us, but it is one of those things where, you know, we never think about it when we flush the toilet where it goes. You just want it to leave your house. Well, it's got to go someplace, and we got to pay for it to go someplace, and price of progress.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about some other good things that you may see, and it's certainly going to help our officers. That is very evident. We are in the process right now of doing some very cool upgrades technology-wise to not only the officers themselves and what they're going to wear in body cameras, but information computers, tablets that are going in their cars that the board approved.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I want to make sure that our people have the tools that they need to do their job. We have some antiquated software that we're going to change from as far as the police department is concerned. And I think it's going to be a very good thing. It's going to integrate into our system very well. Our officers are going to be able to do reports and complete reports from their vehicles, and it's just very much so simplified compared to what we're currently using. And I think that from a standpoint of user friendly, it's going to be great. It's going to be good for our officers, and it's expensive too. I mean, it seems like everything that you have to deal with when you're on a city level is expensive. Again, this is going to give our officers additional tools to do their jobs. On top of that, our fleet, as far as the police department's old, we're going to buy some cars. We're going to look into buying 14 cars for the police department. Some of our cars are 2010 and 2015, and we've purchased new cars since in the last 4 years. However, two really doesn't make the big impact that needs to be done on those on that fleet. And you
especially when the old ones die out. I mean, you're replacing them, but then you lose cars as you go.
Yeah, and so and here's the other thing, and I think people out there probably understand this. Once a car gets old, the cost of repairing the car is below the benefit of actually receiving the car. The cost benefit analysis at that point is there's a shelf life for a car. And
certainly cars that are driven 24/7 too. I mean, my gosh.
Yeah, so you know they're driven 24/7. They have sometimes they have to run at high speeds.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they'll be idling and all of a sudden have to take off. So that's a lot of wear and tear. And our guys need some new vehicles. We're pro police in Pearl, Mississippi. We're going to fund the police. We're going to make sure they have what they need to do their job. I mean, that is my background. I think that when you have a good police department, then you maintain law in your city, then you provide a good community to live in.
Well, I will tell you, from a public perspective, there's two things that I was most excited about, and our officers really are too. Number one are the new body cameras that they're going to be wearing. They're going to be built into the vest, and they're brand new technology, so you won't have body cameras failures, because right now the system we're using, they fall off. They're cumbersome. They're on a cradle, kind of where the officers have to wear them. Now they're going to be built in, and they will always be working. They'll always be on. So from a transparency point of view, it's not only there to protect you, but the officers as well from accusations that may come up that aren't necessarily true. So it's really going to be helpful to the officers. 2, nobody likes to get a ticket. Nobody wants a ticket. But should you get a ticket now, they're going to be able to print it out in the car so you don't have to decipher the hieroglyphics of, let's say, you're a former police officer, not being able to understand what they're writing. It looks like a prescription pad sometimes, and you're trying to figure out what did that officer write you up for, right?
It's called e-ticket, and again, that's a technology that's been around for some time. Going back to those body cams, not only is it's going to provide more transparency for our citizens, it's going to protect the police officer. If the police officer goes to a call and for some unknown reason he goes vertical to the ground, it alerts dispatch if the officer is shot or stabbed or anything like that. So that way we can respond quicker, and I think that's important.
And GPS located, because they know right where he is.
Yeah. This is basically a phone that's encased inside the vest, and it's latest and greatest technology. But again, you got to do these things in order to, number one, protect your citizens, protect your police officers, and make sure that you have functional tools. I mean, there's no way that you can send people out there and not have the right tools to work with every day. And that's what I want to make sure. Make sure that we provide the things needed that they can use each and every day, and it provides more production for them.
Absolutely. Finally, before we let you go, I know you were very proud at the police department to accept a gift from the Payne family. Bob Payne was a reserve officer here for 25 years, and just a great man. Miss Mary Libby Payne, who is his surviving wife, was able to be on hand for the gun dedication. They donated you a rifle that was handcrafted with City of Pearl logos and emblems on it, that is now proudly displayed in the police department.
It is. It was an honor for me to actually work alongside Mr. Payne. When I was a green rookie, he was still working. He was still doing the reserves for the Pearl Police Department. He had a vast amount of knowledge, and it's just his care for law enforcement and the field. It was incredible. He loved the City of Pearl. He loved volunteering in that way. And to do something like that, to be very active for 25 years is a big deal. That's a huge commitment. And so he presented us with that. I mean, he's passed, but Miss Mary Libby presented us with that. And that was really a really good moment to be able to share with her. Actually, when we did this down at the police department last week, it was his birthday, if you remember correctly.
His 89th birthday.
It would have been his 89th birthday. Along with the generous gift of a gun, she, from his estate, donated $5,000 to the Pearl Police Department. What do you say? I mean, it's a class act citizen. He was a good Christian man, and he exemplified that every day. So we just wanted to try to do something to honor him and to make much of him. And they don't make them like Bob Payne's anymore. I think a lot of people would agree. I actually went to church with Bob Payne at one time too at McLaurin Heights Baptist, and just a huge figure in our community.
Wow, that was touching gift, and so much we can't thank the Payne family enough. Their son Glenn was able to be there too, which was really, really special. That's what Pearl's all about. We are a community. No matter how old or how young you are, we all rally together.
That's right.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for coming in. We'll speak to you again in a couple weeks as we hit the month of October, as it is starting to feel like fall.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for the cool weather. It'll be good to see you then, Greg. Thank you for your time today. I enjoyed it.
You got it.
All right.
All right, we'll be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
He was supposed to be the 5th man to walk on the moon. But 200,000 miles from Earth, an oxygen tank explodes.
Serious power supply malfunction.
Okay, now let's everybody keep cool.
Thanks to his survival skills and leadership instinct,
Hang in there, it won't be
he
long.
helped guide the crew back home.
Welcome home. This really looks great.
He was Jim Lovell, and long before he wore this uniform, he wore this one.
Jim Lovell, Mike Rowe, and Bill Gates. Just a few names known for success. All three also started their leadership path while serving in the Boy Scouts of America. Everything they learned while part of a troop can prepare you for a successful future as well, whether it's survival skills, self-discipline, or just how to have fun. If you'd like to be a part of the next generation of Scouts, Pearl has a local troop, 575, and for more information, you can call Cale Gamble at 601-594-7020 or email him at calegamble@yahoo.com. The Boy Scouts of America, be prepared.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. As the mayor said, we just had a board meeting this week, and before that board meeting started, we were able to hand out some city accolades to a pair of our great workers here. First off, we are proud to announce that the Pearl Fire Department Firefighter of the Month in September is John Throne. John began his career with Pearl in March of 2017, and over the last 4 years, he's proven to be a very driven and self-motivated individual. He successfully completed the EMT Basic, Firefighter 1001, EMT Paramedic, and Smoke Diver in these first few years. John says it was always his dream to be a Pearl firefighter for as long as he can remember and is living it out now. John works on the B shift at Station 2 on Pearson Road. Also, congratulations go out to Al Tyndall for being selected as the City of Pearl Employee of the Month. He is a building inspector in community development and inspects new construction, remodels, or additions, and also works in code enforcement. We are very fortunate to have someone with his many years of experience and expertise in all aspects of construction. We thank you to the Pearl Chamber of Commerce for the basket full of goodies that both of these guys were presented with prior to the board meeting. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk a little Braves baseball as your Mississippi Braves are taking on the Montgomery Biscuits this week in a championship series. More on that coming up right after this.
I'm Officer Kyle Carmerdale.
And I'm Officer Alfred Jenkins, School Resource Officer with the Pearl Police Department. And our job is to protect students.
Here in Pearl, we have zero tolerance for drivers that break school bus laws. There are 4 things to know. Stop at least 10 feet from the bus when it is loading or unloading. Don't move until kids have crossed the street to or from the bus. The flashing red lights are no longer activated. The stop sign on the side of the bus is retracted.
When we catch you, you get a ticket up to $750, up to a year in jail, or both.
Please pay attention so every student can get to school and home safely.
Welcome back into This Week in Pearl. I'm Greg Flynn, the Public Information Director here for the city. And right now we're going to do a little M-Braves Insider as the regular season is over and your Mississippi Braves were not only the division champs out of the South, but they are in the championship series now of the entire AA South right now against the Montgomery Biscuits. Games 1 and 2 of the series were held Tuesday and Wednesday night in Montgomery. The Braves are going to host games 3, which is Friday night, and then games 4 and 5 if necessary. This is a best 3 out of 5 series, and the first one to get to 3 games wins the championship. This is the first time that your Braves have been in the playoffs since 2016. And you may ask, when was the last time that they won a championship? Well, that was back in 2008, their 3rd year here in Pearl. So it is overdue time for these Mississippi Braves to hopefully win a championship. If you would like to get tickets to these games, simply call the Mississippi Braves at 1-888-BRAVES-4. The easiest way to purchase them, though, and you can have mobile electronic ticketing, is to go to MississippiBraves.com under tickets and buy your seats for Friday night for sure, and then Saturday and Sunday, if necessary. They'll be playing that championship series here at Trustmark Park. A lot of fun times. Also, while we do have baseball going on, we've also got Pearl Pirates. And the Pirates are off to a great start so far this season at 3-1. All the records start over now as region play begins, as Pearl will travel to Petal on Friday night. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We certainly hope as many of you can make it down to Petal to support them in person. But if not, you can catch the game right here on your Pearl Municipal Broadcasting Network. However you're watching this show is where you'll be able to see the Pearl Pirates take on the Petal Panthers. whether that's on Facebook Live, whether that is on Comcast Channel 20, UVerse 99, on the Roku or Amazon Fire Stick channels, or on our YouTube. So many different ways to catch the Pearl Pirates, and it is free all the time. That's a great service. No subscription is necessary. We bring you Pearl Pirate football free here on Pearl Municipal Broadcasting through all the support we get from the school and from the city here itself. So Pearl Pirates, Petal Panthers, Friday night at 7 o'clock as region play begins. We'll be back with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
Your Mississippi Braves have home field advantage for this week's AA South Championship Series against the Montgomery Biscuits. Tickets are on sale now for all potential games at Trustmark Park, which include Game 3 on Friday at 6:35 p.m., Game 4, if necessary, on Saturday at 6:05 p.m., and Game 5, if necessary, on Sunday at 5:05 p.m. Tickets can be purchased at the Trustmark Park box office visiting MississippiBraves.com or by calling 888-BRAVES-4. Join us as the Braves go for their second league championship in franchise history.
Well, some great events are coming up here in the city of Pearl, and we want you to be involved. You know, we get into fall. It is officially fall now, so it's time to start thinking about the holidays. And the first one up is always Halloween. We're going to be once again holding Trick or Treat Street on October the 23rd. The event is going to be held here at the City Hall complex at Shepherd Field. That is the football field located right behind City Hall and the Rankin County Health Department. It's going to be an outdoor event, weather permitting, where kids can come by and be in their costumes and get candy from all kinds of groups, organizations, churches. City departments will be out in full force. We want you to attend, but if you're a group or an organization that wants to have a booth, booth space is free. And you can fill out an application to have a booth at Trick or Treat Street simply by going to cityofpearl.com, going up under City Events, under the Live section. We'll show you that on your screen. Just go to cityofpearl.com, under the Live section, and go to City Events, and you'll be able to see the application to get a booth, and you'll also see the flyer about the details about when you need to be out there for Trick or Treat Street. Then coming up, hard to believe, right after that is going to be the Candyland Christmas. As our Christmas parade this year will have the Candyland theme, and we are taking applications right now for floats. So you want to make sure that you get your float entered this year. We've got some great prizes that we're going to give away. And after having to skip last year's parade due to COVID concerns, it's going to be great to have it back. We're planning on having this parade bigger and better than ever. We'll have the tree lighting ceremony out in front of City Hall. Then we'll have the parade, and then we'll wrap it up, as you might remember 2 years ago, as we started with a community Christmas party inside the community room. So a great night. It will be ahead for us, as we'll have the tree lighting, the parade, and then we will have a great party on the inside with Santa Claus will be there to take pictures with all of our youngsters. Before we go, I want to share with you some pictures from our youth fishing rodeo that we had out at Bright Park last Saturday. It was put on by the Pearl Parks and Recreation Department. Great job by the staff putting this together, and the kids had a great time. The Bright Park pond was stocked with catfish, and it just seemed like every time you threw your line in the water, a catfish was biting. Kids got to exchange those fish, the tags on the fish, for prizes, certificates. It was a great time had by all, and we look forward to having this again next year. Love seeing these kids being able to spend time outside with their parents. Great memories. Just great ways to make family memories with folks. So again, congratulations to all of those folks that did the fishing, and our Pearl Parks and Rec Department for doing such a great job. Hey, if you want to stay connected with the City of Pearl, we've got several ways for you to do it. Get information and text alerts anytime. All you have to do is text the word Pearl to 91896 on your cell phone. That's the word Pearl to 91896. You can follow us anytime on social media and get instant news about the city and see great photographs or videos that we may be taking. And we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we're on Twitter at Pearl Government. So Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pearl Government. And you can get answers to questions any time of day simply by going to cityofpearl.com, where you can find a lot of answers to your frequently asked questions, plus get a directory of all city offices so you can call that department and get a specific question answered. It was a stacked show today, and we appreciate you for joining us. Remember, folks, that Pearl is a great place to live, work, and play, and that's why we are the Jewel of the Crossroads.